What's going on, YouTube family? Welcome to Automotive Life. My name is Lucky, and today we're going to be talking about auto loans and people with negative equity. There are a lot of people that are very upside down on their vehicles, and unfortunately what they did in 2020, 2021, and 2022 is robbing the future of auto sales for the next 2 years. Now, I'm going to explain all this and a lot more, but before I do, if you could do me a huge favor and gently squeeze the like button for YouTube algorithm, and also find more amazing people like yourselves that enjoy automotive content. Also, please consider subscribing. We do post 2 times a week, so make sure you click the notification bell, and once again, follow us on Instagram at Lucky Lopez. Let's get into the video. So I wanted to make this last minute video to talk about negative equity. Now, everybody that purchases a brand new vehicle has some sort of negative equity when they roll off the dealership floor. It's just something that's part of the business. We have a lot of people that buy new cars every 1 to 2 years that roll in whatever negative equity into the next car. Well, now we're at a really big problem because there are so many people with negative equity in their cars that it's affecting future sales. During the pandemic, I used this terminology calling robbing the future. A lot of dealerships buried their customers so deeply that we as dealers expect to get these same customers back every 2 years. Well, unfortunately now with so many people overpaying for cars, putting very little money down, and as the values drop, they're going to have so much negative equity in their new auto loans that they're not going to qualify for any new vehicles. So what does this mean for the automotive industry? It means that you're going to have a lot less sales every single year. And this is one of the other factors why I'm talking about why tax season is not going to be that good. Now, a lot of dealers for some reason are still holding out the hope that, oh, tax season's going to save us all. Everybody with their money is going to come in and just ball out with all these tax time ballers. That is not the case. Everybody that you know that was collecting stimulus and everything else, I'd say a majority of those people did not check that little box to say, take taxes out of my money. A lot of them got all that free money with no taxes taken out of it. So this year coming around, all these people are going to owe money instead of getting big money back. I know student loans are put on hold, but there's a lot of other factors that are going to come through when people are going to get their tax money pulled back by the government. What did they hire? I think it was like 30 or 40,000 new IRS agents, and they're going to start slowing that or speeding that up all the way up to, I think it was 87,000 by the year 2026. So anyways, that's just more fuel for people to find more things to pull back your money on taxes. Now, when it comes to these cars that were being sold in 2020, 2021, and 2022, we talked about how overinflated prices, the lack of inventory in the market shot these vehicles up. And so dealers took advantage of this, and whatever current inventory they had, they raised the prices up extremely high so this way they can, make a profit and gross as much as they can. But the problem was when they went to the auction, they couldn't replace that same car, so they kept paying over more and more for these vehicles. The only way dealers can justify selling those is telling the bank, hey, we need to loan even more money. I know this car's only worth $10,000, but I need $15,000 in this Toyota Corolla because I paid 10 grand at the auction. So now the auction's like, okay, the bank will say, we'll give you $15,000 for this car, and so on and so forth. Well, now all these people that bought in 2020 are thinking, hey, you know what? I got about maybe 10, 15,000 miles on my car. I'm ready to buy something new. Let me go ahead and trade it in. And they're going up to multiple dealerships all across the United States trying to trade in their overpriced cars, and they're hit with a very hard reality. Now, I was here in Las Vegas buying some parts for one of my cars that I was working on at a Mercedes dealership. While I was sitting there, I heard a gentleman screaming. He was very upset. So I just wanted to hear kind of what they were talking about. And this gentleman bought a brand new G-Wagon back in 2021. He bought the new body style and he paid $100,000 over MSRP for this vehicle. Now, at the time, during the pandemic, those things were extremely hot. I call that the crypto bro car of the decade. Everybody that made any type of money in crypto winded up buying that thing, and it absolutely went nuts. So this guy was going to trade his G-Wagon in for a brand new G Square, which is the lifted model of the G-Wagon. Now, all this screaming was over how they were only going to pay him, I think it was like $150,000 for this vehicle, which I think is a little bit below what MSRP was on the vehicle. And this guy was screaming from the hilltops that he had to pay $100K over MSRP. It's not fair. He's getting screwed. He's going to call Mercedes and complain and blah, blah, blah. And it just made me laugh because this idiot was dumb enough to pay $100 grand over MSRP for a basic G-Wagon. Nothing rare, not a G-Square, just a basic G-Wagon. And that's what happened to the market. Same thing with some of these, TSX trucks, the new Lightnings, Broncos. All these people have one thing in common. They all way overpaid for their vehicles, and now they have all this negative equity rolled into it. Now, after I left there, I kind of laughed and thought about it, but I wanted to go visit one of my friends at a Chevy dealership to talk about the new Corvettes. So when I went down there, he was telling me all kinds of hilarious stories on how these people went out and either bought them from the dealership for, $10, $20, $50, $60,000 over MSRP, and some were buying private party over $100K over MSRP. Just absolutely insane numbers for Corvettes. So as I talked to him, I was like, what are you seeing in the market as of now? And one thing he kept saying was that people are trying to trade in their 2020 Corvettes to get the new Z06. Now, they're giving people around $70,000 to $80,000 on their vehicles, but a lot of their customers owe more than $100,000 on base model C8s, which is absolutely insane. It just lets us know how crazy and how stupid people were during the pandemic. Now, normally that wasn't a big deal because people had big chunks of money that they would throw down on, these specialty cars. But the thing that my friend was telling me is that all these C8 Corvette buyers were doing zero down or very little money down, and GM was financing the rest because at the time the banks wouldn't take a lot of risk on these C8s and give people over MSRP. So GM was just handing out this money, GM Financial, to all these people that couldn't really afford these C8 Corvettes. And that's why if you look in the market today, I remember you would never see these things at the auction. Now you can go to any auction across the United States and you see a bunch of them all over the places. All the dealers getting rid of their overpriced trade-ins, all the rental car company ballers that went out of business that got raided by the DMV, and everybody that just flat out can't afford them that are trading them in or selling them to like Gimme the VIN, Car Gurus, or Carvana or whoever else, and CarMax. And so they're dumping all these C8s into the market. So little by little, we're seeing more and more people being upset to the fact that they cannot trade in their vehicles because they have so much negative equity. So as I started talking to some of these dealer groups, I asked people on Facebook, which I have to share the screenshots. These guys, these groups are absolutely hilarious. If you're in the auto business, get in some of these groups. They're just funny. They talk about how customers are crazy and how they're dreaming. 300 credit scores, trying to buy a brand new car for $300 a month. But one of the things they keep talking about is how there's so many customers that are being turned down because they have so much negative equity they cannot roll it into another car. And so now I believe that dealerships robbed future sales for at least 2 years. So this is another factor on why I keep telling people that prices are going to go down and continue to slowly go down. The demand is slowly going to go down. Everybody thinks that, once the new cars hit the market, the buyers are going to buy them up. A lot of the people that bought the brand new cars and all this new stuff, the ones that always buy new cars every 2 years, they're going to have a harder and harder time because they didn't put those big chunks of money down and have all that negative equity. So little by little, they're going to be robbing sales one by one. So you have people overpaying for cars, you have banks lending even less money on newer cars than they ever did before, and then you have people that are not going to get their tax money. Everything spells doom and gloom for the automotive industry. Now, I want to know your guys' opinion. What do you guys think is going on in your current market? Do you agree? Have you seen a lot of people overpaying for cars? The crazy thing is I still see some franchise stores asking way over MSRP, where a store across the street or in another town is asking at MSRP for brand new vehicles. So please share your comments in the section below. I'd love to hear about them. And if you have anything else or any ideas for a video, please put them in the comment section below. I'll read every single one of them, see if we can make some new cool videos. But I got some really great stuff coming up soon. We got our new website launching with new classes. We're going to do a weekly coaching calls where we're all going to get together. We're going to talk about the automotive industry, things going on, whether you're a business owner, entrepreneur, or you just like to talk about cars. You're welcome to join that too. But anyways, I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you follow us on Instagram at Lucky Lopez, and we'll see you next video.